This is Hannu speaking here from Finland, from southern Finland at the moment. Although Keliber mine locations or plant mine locations are in central Finland. I pointed out one piece of information from Richard, the presentation. Richard, you mentioned Talvivaara. Talvivaara doesn't exist anymore in Finland as a company, but it is nowadays Terrafame. If you click on the Terrafame webpage, you will see the whole story there. But now I talk about Keliber. Keliber is a lithium project company, the most advanced one in Europe. My name is Hannu Hautala. I'm CEO of the company since 2 months. I started in mid of March. My focus has been primarily on capacity side during the first 2 months and on investors. And this presentation is important from one investor presentation. It is not very technical one. It is more about capacities and markets and dynamics and that kind of things. My background is in steel industry mainly, although I have worked at the electronics manufacturing services as well. I try to change the page, but it doesn't. Somehow it doesn't change the page now. Now it is changing. So repeating the same things which have certainly been discussed: the megatrends, electrification of transportation, renewable energy production. Energy must be stored, and lithium is an important element there, and consumer electronics, of course, as one important part. But primarily, it is about the vehicles, electrical vehicles, which are driving the need for lithium and lithium demand growth. It is coming from automotive market development. First of all, reducing the pollution. Secondly, the regulation is tightening, and the third one, price of lithium-ion battery production or lithium-ion batteries is going down as the number of batteries or electrical vehicles on the road and on the market is increasing. There are different scenarios for EV market growth. Some of them forecast 30% annual growth, like the latest Roskill research study on the 5th of May, just a couple of days ago. These informations which are visible on the screen are from the end of 2019, and they are a little bit lower growth rates visible there. Anyhow, all these forecasts, they talk about double digit, either 16 or 18% annual growth, or even up to 30% annual growth. It depends which time period is there and which market is on the radar. If the entire lithium market is on the radar, then the growth rate is lower. If it's about the battery rate, then the percentages are higher. We are located, like I say, in central Finland. On the upper right corner, you see the Scandinavia, Norway on the left, and Sweden, Finland with the darker gray color there, and in central Finland at the coastline, our locations are Kaustinen, ore bodies, 50 kilometers away from the coastline, and then Kokkola is our plant location for chemical factory. We have mineral resources around about 12 million tons. We keep drilling every week. Summer break will start soon at the end of the May. Anyhow, not included in those mineral resources visible on this screen, we have found new openings, new findings even during the latest weeks and months. We plan for integrated production, so starting from own mine to own concentration plant, and the own lithium hydroxide operation at the harbor of Kokkola, and our target market is battery producers for electrical vehicles in Europe. Highlights of our project: we are aiming to be the first one in Europe, first one to produce battery-grade lithium hydroxide from own ore. The ore body in Kaustinen has been known already 30-40 years, and 3 or 4 companies are active there since 2003, and now they are all now the entire project is in the hands of Keliber. We calculate with 15,000 tons annual lithium hydroxide production, and with that speed, at the moment we have ore reserves for 13+ years, and we find more with each drilling day when we work at the ore. We are, according to calculations, a low-cost producer. Lowest cost producers are around 4,000 euro per ton, and we go maybe slightly below. So we are one of the top players in terms of cost efficiency. We have calculated recently 20+%, 21-22% IRR, and we calculate below 5 years payback time, and like in the previous percent, is well known and established, reliable, sustainable mining country, and we have a clear way forward. Project timeline: we are at the moment at the pre-construction phase. We have filed in all environmental permits which will be needed, and we plan to start the construction in 2022, and at the end of 2024 we will ramp up our lithium hydroxide production, and in a volume production we will be then in 2025-26, and it looks that this fits very well together with the market growth. Then further opportunities, organic growth. We of course focus on the maximizing the efficiencies and production volumes, and we also have some ideas to build the second line in the Kokkola harbor, and also the recycling as the number 3 on the right. Recycling is an opportunity. We could use the same technology which we use for ore processing also for certain stages at the for recycled lithium fractions. So Keliber aiming for the first vertically integrated lithium producer in Europe, and I fully agree that the coronavirus epidemic will change the supply chains in automotive industry and also in other industries, and it is good to be the first European producer of lithium.
Brilliant. Thank you very, very much, Hannu, for dialing in from Finland to share all of that with us. That was fantastic. And in your imagination, you can hear the fantastic round of applause from the other side of all those muted microphones. Now, as per usual, we have lots of lovely chatter going on, be it in our Q&A or in our chat, and also on YouTube as well. But just to ask you a question that has been running as a theme throughout this session, and that question is around stakeholder engagement and the variety of different stakeholders. Have you had, and I realize that you've only been CEO for 2 months, so please forgive me for this question. Have you had any problems or seen any new approaches with regards to stakeholder engagement in the process of getting your lithium project up and off the ground?
Certainly there is work to do and interesting, challenging things anyhow, it looks that my predecessors and my colleagues have done very good work in terms of taking care of neighbors and taking care of even small shareholders who are coming from the surrounding communities, etc. I haven't faced such a problems with Keliber lithium operation, which I have faced, for example, at the industrial minerals limestone company, Nordkalk, where I was CEO previously. It looks that people understand that lithium is needed for the climate change. Secondly, our ore is located in a very rural place where heat operating is taking place. Heat is used as energy and energy source, and it causes quite a bit CO2, and it must be reduced. And it is great to replace the working places at the peat production with the lithium production.
Brilliant, thank you. So maybe actually something, Hannu, kind of drawing on your previous experience. I think you mentioned you were from the steel industry originally, is that correct? Maybe drawing on that then, from a sustainability and a responsibility aspect, what can we at Raw Materials be doing better? So this might be through steel production, but also in the world of lithium as well. What do you hope for the future from a responsibility stance?
Two things come into my mind. First of all, increase recycling. Steel industry, especially stainless steel, is pretty good at recycling. Stainless steel is mostly recycled, and it is good to keep in the mind that steel doesn't get worse when it is recycled. And that same will be valid also for lithium. Also, lithium is more difficult to recycle than iron or chromium or nickel. Then the second thing is to use new technologies. You see in steel industry number of initiatives. One is number of initiatives to eliminate CO2 emissions totally, and that is done by using iron ore in a different form than until today, and then to process iron ore in electric arc furnace instead of blast furnace, and this eliminates CO2 production caused by coal used in blast furnaces. So this is a very, very valid and good example from new technology application in steel industry. And the SSAB is active there, Aperam is active there, ThyssenKrupp is active there, and First Alpine, Austrian steel company, is active there.
Brilliant. So it's looking at both the recycling element, but also the way in which the processing is undertaken. So trying to look for methods that might be less carbon intensive, for example, as a whole. That's brilliant. Just picking up on your recycling comments there, and somebody told me, this is a number of years ago, that most of the world's lithium batteries that are being produced at the moment are not being manufactured to be easily recycled. Do you know anything about that? Is that true? Is that changing? What's happening with regards to the recyclability of our lithium batteries?
There are a number of studies ongoing. Anyhow, it looks that it is the lithium is the most difficult element to recycle, and now I need to admit that I'm in a learning curve. But looks that the contents, first of all, are very low. The electrical vehicle batteries recycling is more for the future. The cars are now coming new on the market, and it will take 10-15 years before the volumes are to be recycled. The volumes recycled from mobile homes are still more small compared to the cars. So once the volumes grow, I believe that the technologies are also improved and the technologies will be developed and they will be capable. And Keliber is interested in, and Keliber is contributing to recycling technology.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very, very much, Hannu. Thank you for coming to speak to us in your first 2 months in your new position as CEO, and good luck to the future of Keliber. That's fantastic. Round of applause. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Sarah.